All right. All right, I'm just gonna open it up for questions. I know you all have a whole bunch of them. I know I do a lot of talking, and you don't get to get all your great questions you have set up. So we're gonna go right at it. I'm not saying who. You tell me whoever's up. All right, good. Sorry.
Zach Alley, the whole spring, his kind of integration and today's communication and execution. How'd you like what Zach brought today?
Yeah, no, he's been great. Everything's been good all spring. He's got adjusted quickly like we anticipated, and he's done a variety of things that have helped us continue to move forward and progress and get better. A lot of it language-wise, trying to simplify some things from a language standpoint. Again, sometimes when you get outside of a system and you got to go to several places and start completely over and everybody's new, you figure out how to be even more efficient. I did it when I left Oklahoma originally in 2012 to go to Clemson, and then he's been able to do it in some different ways and had some really good ideas to help people learn a little more efficiently and whatnot. But everything's been great. The Red got the dub today, and that was awesome. And defensively, I told Naked Blitz I had one blitz and a couple coverages, and that was it. So just kept things vanilla and got guys to play hard and play with fundamentals, and guys get it exposed and find some things that we got to get better at, from a fundamental standpoint. But overall, top to bottom, from beginning to end of since January, has been fantastic.
Ryan Aber? Yeah, Brent, like you mentioned, things pretty vanilla, but what did you think about Jackson's performance today, especially?
Yeah, and again, today was another day. And again, I always look at a body of work, and I'd go all the way back to January and been incredibly pleased with the progress, his leadership, the things that he does from a decision-making standpoint and taking care of the football. Those are the things that I look for, and he's been a great leader as well. Both in our out-of-season program and then once we jumped into spring ball. And again, I expect another, jump during the course of the summer. A lot of player-led things happen in the summertime, and so they've got to do a great job for us to be where we want to be when we come back in August. He's got to do a great job, and everybody is. It's not just one person, but he leads the way from being player-driven and getting things done, being efficient and working together. And again, continue to build, our chemistry, our cohesion, our relationships, all those things that are incredibly important. We have 30% of our guys that were in the locker room right now. This was their first spring game, and by the time we get back together in August, they'll be just under 40%. I think it's 38% will be first-time, fall participants. So really looking forward to that, and really excited about the additions that we've made both through high school and a few of the portal additions as well.
I found this on the web.
I really feel like that's been a group of guys that have helped us, have created a value for themselves, have earned some trust, and again, the summertime will be another opportunity for them to continue to enhance that. Okay.
Brent, what were some of the biggest areas of growth, practice 1 to practice 15, that this offense has had under Coach Seth Luttrell?
Well, I think, again, knowing the different personnel groupings that we're working with, there's, it's more than just 11 guys. It's you're hopeful that you have, 22 guys that you can trust and count on. But finding the right group of guys, discovering, again, the strengths and where are some areas that you got to get better at. And, some of that takes some time, but again, looking for guys from an accountability standpoint and a leadership standpoint. You're developing that nonstop timing, run, pass, all the scheme-wise. You're really trying to establish standards and, how we do what we do from effort and toughness and straining to finish. Those are all really important things to make sure that you have several new guys involved. This is how we do what we do, and making sure that is where it needs to be, and you're kind of nurturing that the whole spring. So, I really like there's a whole bunch of guys in that those three groups of guys that went out there that I think collectively will help us, have a chance to be another really explosive offense, and we got a lot of weapons, both in the backfield and at tight end, at receiver. Quarterbacks have the ability to run and to pass, and so I really like the body of work, coming out of the spring, and again have a great expectation that we'll be a better version of ourselves when we start in August.
Brent, Deion Burks' impact on the offense was really on display, especially that first half. Just how did you see him fit in this spring, and how big was his first half today?
Yeah, probably, again, the best thing that he does is his work ethic. He's tremendous work ethic, and he's wide open when it comes to practice, and just passion for the game, incredibly competitive. And so, again, he helps the guys he's lining up against. He helps the guys that he's lining up next to as well. And so he's been fantastic, great playmaker. He's got tremendous speed and quickness, got great hands. Natural feel for the game at receiver, and how he fits in, with our offense, and whether it's the drop back pass game or our RPO world, he's really done a great job of learning what to do and transitioning that within our system.
George. Yeah, Brent, we saw the defensive line get after quite a few guys, Grayson Holmes, Devon Sears, and PJ. How do you feel like that unit has really progressed so far this spring?
Yeah, and we've had a lot of guys that have gotten better. You mentioned two of them, or three of them there, and they all have made really great improvement. Devon Sears, I think we gave him the most improved award of the guys up front, inside in particular. But Grayson has made tremendous improvement. PJ and R. Mason, those guys have really gotten better. Ethan is a better player right now than what he was to finish the season. Had a really good all-conference type of season, and then we got some really good young guys that we feel really good about. And some of them are guys that are returning, whether it's a Marcus Strong type of guy, or a David Stone and Jaden Jackson, some other young guys that are into the system. Champ Sanders had an excellent spring along. Again, you mentioned Grayson, and he's really coming into his own. And it's around 290 pounds. I think Stone and Jaden both tipped in over 300 pounds yesterday. And so we got quite a few guys that, again, I expect to make another big jump in the course of the summer. The weight room being in great shape, the strength, our size, all those things. And again, all spring, they had a great spring. Not a good spring. We had a great spring up front.
Ron Chapman, Brent, flip that around. Those guys are up against. Have you seen the offensive line, that evolution throughout the spring?
Yeah, I probably, I was most excited about the improvement from Josh Bates. And there's a whole bunch of guys, but Josh Bates had I just remember where he was, during the season last year, and certainly last spring as well. We couldn't get a good snap off, and had a great spring, and tough guys. He's made tremendous improvement in leadership and effort. Everything goes through him. He touches the ball every snap. So I really liked the things that he was able to do and improve at this spring. Fabechi was another tremendous addition, and he was a leader early on. Great competitor, a natural leader, and had a really, really good spring. Heath Ozida, another inside guy, really strong. We had a bunch of young guys that got a bunch of quality reps. So whether it was Sosa or Brooks, those guys did a great job this spring. And Garen Hatchett is a young man that obviously we're really counting on, and has great experience, has played at a really high level. He can play lots of positions, and he'll be cleared to start working, doing drill work and those types of things, all controlled, but starting in June here shortly, and excited about the leadership that he'll bring. It's hard to lead when you're not able to go through just the simple things like Indy and things like that, but in due time he's he'll be a fixture from a leadership standpoint and bring a lot to the table. But the young guys, Logan Howland, and really excited about the improvement that he made, and again expect him to have another big jump. But Jake Taylor and Jacob Sexton, again, were fantastic all spring. They're all playing their best football right now. Michael Tarquin, Spencer Brown, again, same thing. Mike Tarquin made great improvement from the moment that he got here to where he's at right now. And Spencer's done a really good job. They're mature guys. They've played a lot of football. And so that brings a lot to that group that overall in Oklahoma uniform, we don't have a ton of experience. So those guys have really blended well. And again, chemistry-wise, they've spent a lot of time together. I think the whole line group went to Maui together, did a service trip together to continue to build those relationships. They understand the importance of that. Again, that cohesion there, and they spent a lot of time together. It's they've done a great job from a leadership standpoint and being, again, just taking the initiative to spend the type of time together, watching tape and those types of things, getting on the same page. And I don't know if I leave anybody else out there up front. Okay. So.
Brent, you always want to play a lot of guys on defense. We saw a lot of guys today. Did this spring give you an indication you're going to be able to do that next year?
No doubt. We're, again, a year ago, I think one of the keys to the depth of improvement that we made was the competitive depth that we had. Obviously, we've got one guy that has started, a college football game returning interior-wise. And so that's always a little bit concerning. I think the next most reps are around like 98 snaps of our next most snaps from a defensive tackle standpoint. Everywhere else, we've got, again, tremendous experience and playmaking. Really like where we're at. We've made great improvement in our back seven, particularly at that corner and that safety, developing the depth there. Not just having guys that can go in and play, but play at a high level. I really like what we've done in the spring at corner. I feel great about where we're at, doing little things better than what we were doing a year ago. And but there's no doubt that top to bottom, particularly at defensive end, at linebacker, safety, and at corner, we've got more guys that can play at a really, really high level. And again, we have great leadership in all those groups as well.
Time for a couple more.
Brent, how do you feel about your quarterback room as a whole exiting spring?
Yeah, again, I feel better than, really, with Dylan by himself last year and Jackson, being a true freshman, where he was, you felt great about Dylan, and there's a lot of unknown after Jackson, and I feel like we have more guys there than what we had a year ago. Mike Hawkins was really good all spring, and anybody that saw us play, it was easy to see. And again, it's not always fair to again one opportunity to watch him here today to make judgment on him. He's had a really good spring, and again, he'll have another opportunity to make a big jump here over the course of the summer. But we feel good about it. Again, great leadership. Guys got the arm talent and the ability to run and the instincts and the leadership, all those things that you want. And with Casey Thompson's also somebody he'll start being cleared to throw with the guys, and he's a guy that started a lot of college football games as well. And so that's the depth at that position more so than what we had a year ago. Not even close to where we were a year ago.
We've got time for two more. Dean and then Barry.
Okoye, I didn't realize he was all the way up to 250 or 55. Says he still runs the same. Where do you see him? I know he's on the edge now. What are you projecting there and when? And Javante Barnes, I guess didn't play today. Where was he?
Yeah. So Danny's had a really good spring, and since he got here in January, Danny's again a tremendous talent, got great size and speed. He's just learning how to play the game, from a process standpoint, and doing all the little things right. He flashed nonstop throughout the course of the spring, and he's still got a lot to improve, like a lot of the young guys. A lot to learn still in the course of the summer, but really excited about what he's going to become over the course of the next few years. But hopefully he'll continue to make improvement where we can count on him to be a rotation guy. But he's long, he's fast, he's explosive, he's really competitive, and he's a really smart guy from learning the defense. He's put in a lot of time to learn, so it'll pay off. And Javonte, again, he's had a good spring, and I think we wanted to focus on some guys that haven't played quite as much and give them an opportunity to come out of the spring, know where they're at and what they're going to be able to help us do in the going into fall camp next year.
Yeah, same question about Allie for Seth, what you saw out of him, what you like about him, how things are different. And also, are we going to get to talk to Seth and/or Zach at any time?
Maybe. We're still thinking that through. No. Seth and Joe John and the rest of the offensive staff, they were great. Again, feel really good about where we're at and really trying to, again, establish, the fundamentals of what we're doing, the effort of what we're doing, the systems and how the systems operate. We've got a lot of flexibility within those systems to be right on offense with a lot of the things that we do systematically. And so getting that group of guys, the players at all the positions that applies to get on the same page. And so really excited about, again, the things that we've been able to tinker with and things that, they've both Joe, John, and Seth have brought to the table that are going to put our guys in position to be successful. Again, we have a few guys that weren't able to participate in the spring that once they get cleared here this summer that we'll be able to continue to work with our guys and put together a great product and have another explosive offense. We had great explosive plays all throughout the spring. I'm really excited about the playmaking both at running back, at receiver, at tight end, and then when we get again the depth of the guys that several guys that were banged up during the spring when we get them all together. I really like the group of guys that Seth and Joe John and the rest of the offensive staff have to work with.
One follow-up about the explosive. You got a guy like Burks in the slot. Drake's been there forever, great receiver, possession, get a first down. You didn't send him deep very often. How does it change things when you got a deep threat coming out of the slot?
Yeah, I mean the ability to throw both underneath and deep. Your coverages are affected. Who you're matching things up with, whether it's a quarter safety or spin down safety, or it's an additional corner or whoever that additional defender is, your star, your fifth DB, if you will. And so, it makes the matchups a little more difficult when you got somebody that can challenge you vertically as well as underneath. So, Drake was a high producing receiver. It didn't matter what you asked that guy to do. If that was beat somebody, on an over route or get open on an underneath crosser or something like that, Drake would make all the competitive plays. And so we'll need to continue to have that type of production come out of that position in order for us to be successful, systematically.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. You all have a good one.